Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm with the czar of the playbook, Emery Hunt. I'm Tyler Merkovich, bringing you NFL Week 14 previews. We have Carolina at New England. Carolina coming up with a big defensive win last week against Tampa Bay. Ball control style, Matt Moore pretty efficient. Steve Smith made some plays. Jonathan Stewart filled in nicely for D'Angelo Hall, over 120 yards. What are your keys to victory for John Fox?
Well, the Patriots secondary is the weak spot of that defense because they're not getting pressure up front. So Matt Moore is going to have to have a breakout day throwing the football. He's going to have to attack that secondary of New England to loosen up that pressure, and they'll be able to run the football with Stewart and company. Second, defensively, they really have to pressure Tom Brady, because Tom Brady, when he gets pressure in his face, he gets rattled, gets frustrated, he starts throwing the ball all over the place, pouting. You can't pout in football. Peppers is going to have to introduce himself to Tom Brady this week as well, too. Third, special teams play is going to be huge. Wes Walker is a dynamite returner in the punt return game, so they really have to show up special teams, the Panthers does, in order to have some success in all three phases.
And something the Black Cats have improved on since the beginning of the year, they lost their starting defensive tackle early. They weren't really getting too much pressure, and that caused quarterbacks to really hit their receivers. But now they've stepped up. They're a top 5 pass defense, so that bodes well going into this matchup against the Pats here. But what are your keys to victory for the Patriots? How do they get back on track? How is Tom Brady and Randy Moss going to find that chemistry they built in 2007? Wes Welker, he'll make the yards, make you plays, but Randy Moss, he's their playmaker, and Brady really needs to gain some more confidence in him. What are your keys to victory?
Well, Matt Moore is a young quarterback, so defensively they're going to have to really, and I know Belichick is going to do this, they're going to have to mix up their coverages to confuse the young guy back there and force him to throw the ball where they want him to throw the ball in order to gain some interceptions. So they're going to have to mix up their defensive coverages. Second, they really have to get push up front. Defensively, if you look at the Patriots, when they played the Saints were able to do what they wanted to do in the passing game as well as the run. They used the pass set up the run. You look against the Dolphins were able to run the ball to some success. To have success, Ricky Williams had over 80 yards rushing, keeping the chains moving. So they really have to get pushed up front, and it all starts with Vince Wilfork. He has to do a better job this week to control that line of scrimmage of the Panthers. Third, they're going to have to really get their swagger back, and that comes with the big plays. They need big plays in both the defensive side of the ball as well as the offensive side of the ball. So they have to really make a big play this week, get your swagger back. That should help these guys out. Playing at home, they should get their swagger back. I like the Patriots.
Well, they're going to need to neutralize the Panthers' D-line by getting some run offense in there with Maroney. Run the ball a little bit. Get Tom Brady a balanced offense here. I'm going to take New England to bounce back. For more, visit footballgameplan.com/NFL.